Welcome to the next session within the Business Builder Development Series. We are in the red portal in our dashboard where we are able to have an overview of the customers' forms and development initiatives that we are busy with on an individual basis. Based on this, we can see our example that we've used, Jim Morrison. We're able to go and look at customers. We're able to remember, I'll just refresh every time we go through this process, add a customer. Once we've added that new customer, we're able to select send form. In this case, we are reviewing the Business Builder main. We have sent that form. It indicates that that form has been sent. If we click on this, it also shows when the customer did respond. Remember, these responses gives you a view to the actual detail of the response. That means what did they complete in the survey, or it enables you to develop the report, which is the full PDF version of the report for the customer to view and download. This you are able to then export and mail to the customer or share with the customer when you first, it's quite a large file. We'll download that at the next stage. So to look back, I just want to refresh the view. So if we look back at it, we're also able to assign modules, assign new module. This is where we, once the customer has completed the survey, able to select the Business Builder primary module that we want to assign. Once we submit this, the customer will receive a login and are able to log in and view the modules. We are able to look at what has been assigned, the Business Builder. It has 11 modules. It's a primary module. And if we view, we'll be able to see the sub-modules within this. The Business Builder, in this case, the primary module will track all the module goals that we set through each one of the sub-initiatives so that we're able to export and report on those. Just refer to the how-to video if you want to get a refresher on how to actually create and manage goals within each one of the sub-modules. The sub-modules will house the specific content for each one of the modules, but it also has videos and content which will broaden your background on the content that will be shared at the meeting with the customer. We will also be tracking that activity that shows our engagement, as well as adding new goals and reporting. We've covered the business planning, product, market definition is the next module that we are looking at in this case. If we go to the downloads, we can see that this specifically focuses on market research as an activity. So defining the market that we seek to address. Market definition, a crucial activity in this, and we're going to go through that in a bit more detail next, but also have available customer profile templates, so being able to profile the customers that we are dealing with, both decision makers, users, and ability to target our sales teams and our lead generation activities a lot better. We also have a market segment analysis tool, which we are going to go through within the next session. So if you press on download here, you will download the market research, market segmentation and analysis tool. As usual, the tool provides you with instructions step by step on how to complete it. But within market segmenting, we'll just quickly review some of these. We will actually come up with segments which are focused on demographic, so who they are, B2B, business to business, business to customer, looking at the demographics within there. Demographics referring to income, age, education, family size, gender, some examples already pre-populated for you. Psychographic, how do they think? So they're also looking at business to business, business to customer. Are they looking at growth versus remaining where they are? What's the lifestyle, hobbies, environment, the price sensitivity, the spontaneity, what are their requirements, their referrals, risk aversion, loyalty, all sitting within psychographic details that we need to identify for the market that we are targeting. Behavioral, what do they do? which websites do they visit, which memberships are they interested in, what's their internet usage, what is the sort of collateral that they will be interested in, all elements that we need to look at as far as behavioral. Then we have environment, where they are, technology that they're using, purchasing, management style, currencies, payment methods. All of these pre-populate to help you define the market segmentation that you are looking to target. So we're calling those the segmenters. Sizing, we've given you an example of sizing. This is most probably doing sizing for companies, whether or not they've been in Australia, United States, and Canada on the one side, and also splitting them as far as revenue generation. So market sizing, very important, and also then within that market, looking what are the segments. If we were looking at market sizing, in this case being United States, Canada, looking at businesses by revenue, we would then categorize those as corporates, small business, and then also sub-segment those into small businesses in those specific areas. So all aimed at getting a better understanding of the market segments that exist within the market that was sized. Once this sizing was done as an example, you then need to update the actual that comes out of your market research, as well as defining the segments for those that were set as far as the examples. As with all the tools, we need to set weighting for the specific analysis that we will be completing. In this case, we are looking at ability to differentiate, competitive intensity, barriers to entry, so looking at competitiveness as a whole, market opportunity, looking at market size, growth rate, and profitability, and market attractiveness, which is looking at strategic technical fit, capabilities, maturity, and pricing. So again, these percentages can be changed. I would say that we would actually look at ability to differentiate, then weight the competitive and take that down to 10. Barriers to entry, market size, growth rate. So these are the elements that we would like, but we would also want to see if we've got the capabilities available to address that market. So I would most probably make sure that we do look at capabilities as well and weight that. So the weighting, making sure that we can look at competitive market opportunity and attractiveness of these markets that we have now sized and segments that we've defined to go after. So that sits within the weighting, and then we go into the actual segment analysis. Now across the top, you can see the actual weighting that we just did across these areas. And now we need to define what the level of relevance is for each one of these areas. So how high do we rate these on a scale of 1 to 10? And that will give us an ability to look at the relevant competitive market opportunity and attractiveness to each one of these. So barriers to entry, 7 out of 10. Profitability, 7 out of 10. Strategic fit, you can see there, although it's not that much weighted, that is a key area where we've got a big gap when it comes to, in our example. All of this information, as you go through one by one and set these weightings relevant to what your profitability or what the market profitability would be, for example, would then be translated through into rankings. Then we are able to look at the segment score as a total. So looking again at all the segments that we've just looked at, each one of these criteria, and then being able to select them and say, if we were looking at competitiveness, which is the market with the lowest competitor or highest? Let's look at market opportunity. Which market represents the highest opportunity? It's definitely our example, segment 8. Or we can look at which market has got the highest attractiveness score, and that would be segment 17. So again, making it easier for you to pinpoint which segments to focus on. All that information is then actually translated into a visual representation of what the attractiveness versus feasibility is. Where's the top priorities? Where the ones that we should be defocused on, which are potential ones to eliminate, and the future potentials as well, giving you a visual representation of that. This would then all be translated into charts. These charts gives us an opportunity to easily identify opportunities. Look at the low within this sample segment, low competitive intensity, high maturity and timing available on our side, a high growth rate within this market. We have a strategic and technical fit, an area to look at, as opposed to here where we can see high competitive intensity, barriers to entry is fairly high, growth rate is high, but our fit when it comes to strategic fit and capability is not that good. So that's it. That's the tool that will help you with the market segmentation and analysis.